Hi everyone, this is Hiba from My Little Journal, and today I'm excited to be sharing the new journals that are releasing at Everyday Explorers. Today is September 8th, 2022, and you don't want to miss out on these 4x6 journals. And I did want to say thank you to Everyday Explorers for sponsoring this video. Now I have two different journals here to share with you, but there are so many others that you can choose from, but these were my favorites, and these are the two I chose for myself. Now, this first one's called Week by Week, and I love this 4x6 journal because it has the calendar all set up for you, and then it's sectioned out into fours for each week. You can kind of play with it, add journaling, add some photos. I will be working in that journal for this video, so I'm going to share with you how I'm going to set it up. But this next journal is called Section Journal. I've already set this journal up. I'm sharing it with my YouTube members in a couple of days, but I'm excited for this one because I'm documenting Stitch in that journal. But for my week by week journal, I'm going to be documenting movies, shows that I've watched recently, also music, podcasts. I really wanted to have a journal that holds all that stuff for me. And I've done this before, and I really like how my older journal turned out. I even used a 4x6 from Everyday Explorers for that. So I thought I would redo that and kind of document certain things in this mini journal. So first, I'm going to use this calendar to kind of keep track of the shows and movies that I watched throughout the month. I've done this in my reading journal where I keep track of when I start a book, when I finish it. So I thought it would be fun to do the same with my shows because I love watching shows and keeping up with my, the seasons and the series and all that stuff. So I thought it would be fun to use the calendar for that. So I started by stamping August on the side. I'm also stamping the days of the week. I'll grab my dot marker. I think it's from Zig, and I'm going to stamp out little dots where I can fill out with the dates. And I will share at the end of this video photos of how I filled this calendar out. I basically added little I doodled little TV screens and then wrote down the show I'm watching and the season. And basically I add an arrow through the days I watched it and how long it took me to finish that season, let's say. I think it's a great and fun way to kind of document what you're watching. You could even do this for podcasts, like podcast episodes or books. So it works for anything and everything. But I'm going to be kind of tracking what I'm watching in these calendars. Now, I do want to bring some color to my calendar, even though once I fill this out, it's going to be very colorful. But I'm going to go ahead and add some washi tape. I'll also add some stickers in the corner to bring in some more color. But I did want to mention a few things about these mini journals. What I love about these mini journals is, first of all, the size. It's not overwhelming. Your layouts come together pretty quickly. And also that these journals, they're lined. And so you could either ignore the lines or you could use the lines to guide you. And you're going to see once I start my first spread in my journal, I'm going to ignore one side. So I'm going to ignore the lines completely and just cover up all the lines. And on the opposite side, I'm going to use the lines to guide me. So what I decide to do is I grab my photos, and this is where I'm going to let the lines guide me to add my photos. But the opposite side, I'm going to cover it with one of these notepads from Everyday Explorers. I've mentioned these notepads before. They are perfect for something like this. And I'm going to use the currently watching one. And I'm basically going to cover up the left side of my spread. And I will fill this out with my favorite show from the month and stick down my photos on the opposite side where, again, the lines are guiding me, helped me choose the size of my photos and everything. So I don't even have to worry about how I'm going to set up my spread. Now, I do grab some older stamp sets from Kelly Purkey, and I'm going to stamp Enjoying at the top, and then I'm going to stamp Simple Pleasures in Life at the bottom, right underneath my notepad. And I will grab a star stamp to stamp the star ratings for each show. I've watched some really good shows this month. Abbott Elementary, if you have not watched it, you have to watch it. It is hilarious. It's so well done. It has become a favorite. So I'm giving that a 5-star for sure. I've also watched, I think, season 3 of Mindhunters, which was pretty good. And Never Have I Ever, I think it's season 3 as well. I gave that a 5-star as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and color them in with my Crayola Super Tip markers. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to use my Studio Calico TV stamp to stamp Just Chill in that box where I don't have a photo. And I'm going to use the little Wi-Fi signal to stamp right above the dot for the J. And it worked perfectly. It fit really nicely. And I love how that turned out. So I'm almost done. Like I said, these spreads come together pretty quickly. I end up stamping TV on the right side of my spread. And then I'm going to use this popcorn stamp from Everyday Explorers to kind of represent my ratings for Abbott Elementary. I thought it would be fun to change it up and not stamp stars, but stamp the popcorn. It's cute. I'll even come in and color them in. I added some washi tape to bring in some more color. I felt like the red on the left side of my spread was really heavy and bold, so I needed to kind of balance it out a little bit. I ended up just using some washi tape to help me balance everything out. But I will fill out my notepad later. You will see the end results when I shared the photos at the end of the video. I just didn't want to do it on camera, basically. But anyways, we are done with my first spread, and I'm going to move on to my second spread where I'm documenting the music that I was listening to in August. Again, I'm using my notepad from Everyday Explorers. This one says currently listening. And this one is more focused on like podcasts and stuff, but I'm going to be using it to document what I'm listening to as in music. And I, again, printed 3 photos. I'm going to let the lines guide me. And I'm going to add my photos in each box. I'm leaving one empty because I will be stamping. I like leaving one empty so I can stamp or add embellishments. It breaks down all the photos on the right side of my spread. Now I have multiple playlist stamps that I can use, and I love this one. I believe this one is from Everyday Explorers, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm going to stamp playlist right above my photos. I will also be stamping like a little play sign right there just to kind of bring in some color. And I will be stamping in the car faves. I listen to music all the time, but mostly in my car. So I thought that was the perfect stamp to stamp in between my little photos. I also have this beautiful stamp set from Studio Calico, and it has the little record. So I'm going to use that stamp to stamp in the center of my empty box to fill it out. And I will color in a little bit just to bring in some of the yellow from the left side of my spread. This is something I always mention. When you have a certain color that's taking over your layout, I would use it on both sides. You want to bring in that color to the right. So my notepad is yellow. I'm going to make sure to bring in some yellow to the right side as well. I use this bold and large stamp that says volume up. And I'm going to be using the headphones for my star ratings. I like the idea of the popcorn, so I thought I would do it with my music. So I'm using the headphones this time around, and I'm going to color them in with my Crayola Super Tip markers. And I also add some yellow to my record, but I felt like it was not enough yellow on the right side of my spread. So what I decided to do is use my washi tape again. Washi tape in these little mini journals are your friend. They don't add a lot of bulk, but they add the right amount of color. So I add some to the bottom, and when I trim off the bottom portion, I don't want to waste my washi tape. It's a great way to use it to bring more color to the top of my spread. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up adding it right underneath playlist, like so right underneath my title. It looks amazing. I love doing this. It's worked out for me multiple times, so I always recommend it. Don't throw away your washi tape. use that extra washi somewhere else on your spread. Now I'm almost done. I'm just gonna use a word sticker right over my yellow washi. I just felt like I needed to break down that washi. It was way too yellow. And I like using my word stickers for that. I'm gonna end up stamping "Now Playing" underneath my notepad and call my spread done. So easy, so simple. Love these little mini journals. Totally recommend them. Don't forget, I will be adding all the links for everything I used and mentioned in my video down in the description box for you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.